John Butler here on The Buzz, and I want to welcome a really cool guy who's been in a lot of Broadway productions with Disney and has an incredible voice, and it just resonates through the theater. If you haven't seen him, you're going to get a chance to, because he's got a new movie coming out. Adam, welcome to The Buzz.
Hi, thanks for having me, John.
We're going to talk about the new movie, but give folks a little background on you, and first of all, well, tell us a few of the productions you've been in, just to give people a hint.
Sure. So I'm a Broadway performer. I'm most known for originating the role of Aladdin on Broadway. I did it in the out-of-town tryouts and all through development. I played it on the Broadway stage at the New Amsterdam Theater, and I played on the Tonys, and I got a Drama Desk nomination and a Grammy nomination for my work on Aladdin. So that's what I'm sort of most famous for. I also played Simba in The Lion King. I don't know if you can see my poster behind me. And I also played Marius and Les Mis. So those were my three Broadway shows. Les Mis was my first one. And yeah, so those are my Broadway credits. I grew up in San Francisco. I grew up in the Bay Area and went to school at the San Francisco Conservatory of Music, did piano, then went all the way through high school, did all the plays and musicals, of course, and fell in love with theater in high school. And then finally went to New York University and got my Bachelor's of Fine Arts in the theater there, and proceeded to start to do theater after that. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Well, pretty incredible. Too bad you couldn't have been in any really big productions on Broadway, you know?
I've been really lucky to play all the major ones.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, those are the major ones. So what was your favorite out of all of those?
Out of those three, I would have to say Aladdin, only because it was, such a demanding role. I had to be funny. I had to do American Ninja Warrior on stage, essentially jumping from buildings and sliding down poles. And so it was very athletic. I also had to sing. I also had to dance. I had to tap dance on stage. First time ever having to do that in a Broadway show. I did it in that show. So between all of those different elements, because it was a challenge, it made it all that more rewarding when I was able to succeed with it.
Did you ever injure yourself jumping around on stage?
Well, we're doing 8 shows a week. So you kind of get that repetitive stress because you're doing the same thing over and over. So that's a common injury for Broadway performers. So it's very important that we're very much like athletes, like Olympic athletes, really, because you have to pace yourself through the week and make sure you can have enough energy to do 2 shows on Saturday, 2 shows on Sunday. So all of that comes into play when you're a performer.
Yeah, absolutely. So you work out every day for that, or you go to the gym and pump some iron?
Well, when I was doing Aladdin, my cardio was taken care of because I was doing so much cardio on stage, running and jumping and dancing and singing. But I did still have to do some, just basic strength training to make sure I didn't injure myself. But that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Well, it's demanding, and I can't imagine doing it night after night after night. I don't know how these performers do it, singers and all that. And
they love it. They love it so much. That's it.
Yeah. You'd have to. So you'd have to. And I'm sure you made it over to Sardi's a few times.
Oh yeah, I've gone there. On Wednesdays they have discounts for the actors. So that's when I would like to go in between shows.
Yeah. Well, short story. It was in for Thanksgiving. This is eons ago in New York, and my wife and I were going to go somewhere for Thanksgiving dinner, and I said, Mama Leone's has the best Thanksgiving anywhere, I've heard. She goes, Italian restaurant. I'm not going to go to an Italian restaurant for Thanksgiving. Anyway, they're no longer there, but they used to really, really roll it out. And at Sardi's, we wound up going to Sardi's for Thanksgiving. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. And of course, everything's changed with COVID, so things are still shut down, right?
Yeah. Everything in New York is, pretty quiet in Midtown. I haven't actually been there I've been living in Chicago for most of the time, and just recently relocated here to raise my family, as I have twin boys who are age 7 now. They were born first day of rehearsal for Aladdin on Broadway.
No kidding. You relocated where?
In Chicago. I'm in Chicago, Illinois now.
Okay, so you relocated to Chicago.
Yeah. But
Jeez.
I was just going to say, the theater everywhere, but especially New York, it's been hit the hardest. All the actors, all my friends, it's been really hard because, we're the first to close and we're going to be the last to open.
Yeah.
And it's just really been a tough, long haul for all the performers and everybody involved in the industry.
Have things calmed down in Chicago?
Yeah, they've calmed down for the most part, and things are starting to open up again. So, there's hope, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and I just can't wait to get into a theater or be on a stage and feel that live connection again, because I'm an actor and I need that. That's my fuel. Yeah.
What sparked you, and when were you sparked to go into this business? Was it like in junior high school, or was there some moment that you said, man, that's what I want to do?
Yeah, I think the main moment was in high school when I was approached by my director after one of the shows. We just finished doing Evita. I was playing Che, and a big undertaking for a high school, actually. But he said to me, have you thought about what you want to do? Have you considered pursuing a career in the arts, because you have the talent and you probably can make it far in this business if this is something you want to do? And at the time I hadn't seriously considered doing it, but when he said that, it kind of just flipped the switch, and it really set me on the path. And I said, you know what? Yeah. And sometimes it all takes is one person like that. And that's kind of what happened with me.
Yeah. Well, what's your family background? Were your parents supportive of that, or do they go, what?
Yes.
You're nuts?
No, I was fortunate in that I had very supportive parents. They drove me to all my piano lessons and rehearsals, miles and so much time and sacrifice, as parents do for their kids. But especially mine, they really supported all of that. And they weren't the kind that were like, no, doctor, lawyer, you have to be a doctor or lawyer. No, they didn't do that. They said, if you want to do this, we support you, and they're going to be behind me 100%. And they truly are.
That's pretty cool. It doesn't always happen that way. So
yes, I was lucky.
Yeah. I went into radio, and my dad said, well, you realize someday you're going to have to get a real job.
So, yeah.
Of course, he was right, but but there's something about it gets in your blood. Radio, TV, Broadway, movies. Just being creative, I think, don't you?
Yes, for sure. And during the pandemic, to try and pass the time, I know a lot of my friends have been writing. They've been making videos, and so trying to stay creative is really important part of just staying sane during this time.
Yeah, I think it's important, and I think it's important for everybody to have some creative outlet. Everybody a lot of people don't think they're creative, but they are if they dig deep enough. But I think you need a creative outlet, if it's whatever it is, blowing glass or doodling. I don't know.
Sure. Pick up a hobby.
Yeah. Well, okay. Want to talk about your new movie? Give us a little background on it.
I'm super excited, and it's available for DVD, Blu-ray, streaming, and all that. But it's called Behind the Curtain, and what it is, it's a documentary concert, or my producer likes to say docu-concert, and it's a filmed concert. I did it in Los Angeles a few years ago. It was a cabaret, one night only performance. And we had multiple cameras, and I'm in it. I'm singing classic Broadway tunes, stuff from my shows, Aladdin and Lion King and other shows, Phantom of the Opera, and really, really big classic ones. And then I also segue into some pop and rock and R&B. And then we decided to make it more personal. We interwove some interviews and me talking about some difficult things that happened in my life. I talk in between the numbers, and in the end, it became more of a documentary than the concert, but it's still a very entertaining concert. But I just want people to understand it's this kind of this mix. And I'm very proud of it because, it was my first time ever doing this show. And we decided to tape it, and what you get is what you get. It's very raw, it's very real. And it turned out, pretty decent, I think. So that's called Behind the Curtain.
Well, it sounds fascinating. I'm a fan of documentaries. So this sounds fascinating. It's kind of like a hybrid, right?
Yes, exactly.
Well, there's, it's available. I mean, nowadays, especially with even movie theaters not totally open, there's other ways to view this. Of course, it is online. We're going to put the link down below the video here so people can click on the link. And like you say, it's also available on DVD and Blu-ray. But if I understand, there's a code. Our mutual friend Barry Rogers sent me the codes to let people know they can get a discount. I think they use the coupon code Aladdin.
Yes. You can get a promo code of 20% off for your viewers if you use Aladdin and your listeners, and that will allow you to do that.
And for those of you with dyslexia, like I've got a little bit of, it's ALADDIN.
Yes, that is the correct spelling.
We'll have that also down below. So, well, tell us a little bit about the making of the movie. Where did you shoot it?
So this was filmed at Feinstein's Vitello's in Los Angeles. It was a one-night only concert. And there's, it's an intimate cabaret performance. So there were about 200 people in the audience. And so the interactions that you see with me in the audience, that's all, not planned. It's all very real. And we just kind of captured this magical evening and put it onto a film. And then later on did some interviews and kind of made it more personal. But the story and the through line is basically an intimate look at my journey as an artist and as a person, as a human, and how I became a Broadway star, and what I had to deal with along the way, being of mixed ethnicity and playing iconic roles and the pressure of that, and having relationships in the industry, which is always crazy. The showmances, we like to call them. So I cover a lot of territory, and I think the fans who know me will see it's really kind of a different version of me, and they'll be hopefully pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Well, you've got an incredible voice. By the way, I love Vitello's. It's a favorite place of mine out in LA. And I think the last concert I went to there was with my friend JD Hinton at a sold out house that night. It's a great place to perform, isn't it?
It's lovely. And, the staff there is all wonderful, very professional. And it's just a cool space, and it actually feels kind of New York, just in LA. So I enjoy performing there.
Yeah, it really does. And of course has some interesting history.
Yes.
So, which we won't go into right now, but people can look that up if they want to.
That's right.
Yeah, I did an interview with, boy, the name escapes me. The lady who plays the piano there a lot and sings, very talented, downstairs, and I cannot remember her name. But anyway, she was actually living in her car for a good while, got a job playing at Vitello's, and then wound up singing a song in a major movie. I think it was La La Land. She did the opening song. It wasn't her face. They lip synced her voice over it, but it was a big break for her.
Yeah, so, that's great. That's LA. Those are the dreams about Los Angeles. Waking up and suddenly you're in a major movie.
Yeah, those are the LA stories. So yeah, next time you're out there, tell everybody hello for me, will you?
You bet.
All right. Well, you got anything else? Well, what's your next thing after this movie comes out?
Right. Well, so I did this concert. I happened to also be in town while I was doing that concert. I was filming my first time ever playing a feature in a lead role in a feature, and that movie is called Last Call in the Doghouse, and that's coming out later in about a month as well. And in it, I'll tell you briefly, I play a rabbi named Mo, a young rabbi, and I'm adopted by this family of biblical characters, we could say, omniscient people who own a New York City bar called the Doghouse. And at last call, the patrons that come in, we help them. We kind of save their souls in a way. It's very, very touched by an angel, sort of Michael Landon. And it's a little bit of Twilight Zone as well. So I was very intrigued by that concept, and it was a really fun and very fulfilling time for me as an actor to try and deep dive into a character like that.
Adam, this is incredible, especially with COVID and everything else going on. I mean, you're building an amazing career.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky. We did all that right before the COVID happened.
Yeah.
And I have my family here to keep me busy, so I'm not like feeling like I'm just sitting on my hands. But it's been something.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're an incredible talent, and your voice is just amazing. Like I say, the way it resonates through a theater, and you're just very, very talented, and obviously a nice guy. So, hey, thanks for spending time with me.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, John, for having me. Okay, appreciate it very much.
You too, man. Good luck with those kids.
Thank you. Take care.